The average person consumes about 17 teaspoons of added sugar daily, more than double the recommended amount, often without realizing it. Sugar is everywhere, in sauces, snacks, healthy foods, even yogurt. Over time, it damages not just your waistline, but your brain, heart, liver, skin, and mood. Today, we'll break down exactly what sugar does to your body. Short, medium, and long term. Welcome back! This channel breaks down real health science simply. So subscribe if you're new. Not all sugar is equal. Natural sugars in fruit come with fiber and nutrients. We're focusing on added sugar, the refined kind in processed foods your body isn't designed to handle in high amounts. Experts recommend no more than 6 teaspoons daily, yet most people consume nearly 3 times that. So, what does that do to your body? Let's break it down. Short-term effects. Let's start with what happens in the hours right after you eat something high in added sugar. This is the cycle most of us live in without even realizing it. When you consume refined sugar, it hits your bloodstream fast. Your blood glucose spikes sharply. In response, your pancreas pumps out insulin to bring those levels back down. And it does, often too aggressively. So your blood sugar drops. You feel tired, foggy, irritable, and hungry again. So you reach for another snack, and the cycle repeats. This blood sugar roller coaster is one of the main reasons so many people feel exhausted by mid-afternoon. Not a lack of sleep, but a diet built on constant sugar spikes and crashes. But it doesn't stop there. In the short term, excess sugar also 1. Triggers inflammation in the body. Even after a single high-sugar meal, inflammatory markers in the blood can rise within hours. 2. Suppresses your immune system. Studies show that consuming large amounts of sugar can reduce the ability of white blood cells to fight bacteria for up to 5 hours after eating. And this is happening every single day for millions of people who just think they're tired, or stressed, or getting older. Medium-term effects. When high sugar consumption becomes a consistent pattern over weeks and months, the effects start compounding in ways that are harder to reverse. One of the first things to go is your skin. Sugar triggers a process called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to proteins like collagen and elastin, making them stiff and brittle. The result? Premature wrinkles, dull skin, and slower healing. No skincare product fixes this from the outside if the damage is happening from within. Your liver is also quietly under attack. When you consume more fructose than your body can use for energy, the liver converts it into fat. Over months of high sugar intake, this fat begins to accumulate in the liver, a condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which now affects roughly 1 in 4 adults worldwide. You don't have to drink alcohol to develop a fatty liver. A diet high in added sugar, especially fructose from sweetened drinks, can do the same damage. Then there's the brain. Over months of high sugar intake, research shows changes in the brain's reward system. Your dopamine receptors begin to downregulate, meaning you need more sugar to feel the same level of satisfaction. This is the neurological basis of sugar addiction, and it's very real. The scary part is that most people normalize these changes. They think the fatigue, the brain fog, the weight gain, and the mood swings are just part of getting older. They're not. They're symptoms. Section 5. Long-term effects. Over years of consistently high added sugar consumption, the risks escalate significantly. We're talking about conditions that are now among the leading causes of death and disability worldwide. Type 2. Diabetes. Chronic sugar overconsumption is one of the primary drivers of insulin resistance, a state where your cells stop responding properly to insulin. Over time, this becomes type 2 diabetes, a condition that now affects over 500 million people globally and is almost entirely preventable through diet. Heart disease. High sugar intake raises triglycerides, lowers good HDL cholesterol, and promotes the kind of chronic inflammation that damages artery walls. A landmark Harvard study found that people who got 17 to 21% of their calories from added sugar had a 38% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. Cognitive decline. Researchers are increasingly calling Alzheimer's disease type 3 diabetes because of the strong link between insulin resistance in the brain and cognitive decline. Chronic sugar overconsumption appears to impair memory, shrink brain volume, and increase dementia risk over decades. Sugar is not just a dietary issue. At high levels, sustained over years, it is a public health crisis hiding in plain sight, in every aisle of every grocery store. Section 6 on what you can do. So how do you actually start reducing added sugar without feeling like you're depriving yourself? Here are 3 practical steps that work. 1. Read labels, but look for grams, not percentages. Ingredients list berry sugar under dozens of names: dextrose, maltose, corn syrup, cane juice, and more. A quick habit? Check the added sugars line on the nutrition label. If it's over 6 grams per serving, think twice. 2. Replace, don't just remove. Don't just cut sugar out cold, replace the habit. Swap sweetened drinks for sparkling water with fruit slices. Replace processed snacks with fruit, nuts, or boiled eggs. The craving is real. The answer is finding something that satisfies it without the damage. 3. Give your palate 2 weeks. Your taste buds adapt. Within 2 weeks of reducing added sugar, naturally sweet foods taste sweeter. A carrot, a handful of berries, a square of dark chocolate. These become genuinely satisfying. Your baseline recalibrates. You stop needing the hit. Here's what I want you to take away from today's video. Sugar is not a moral issue. Eating it doesn't make you weak or undisciplined. It makes you human. In a world that has engineered these products to be almost impossible to resist, the food industry has spent billions of dollars making sure you crave exactly what they sell. But knowledge is power. Now that you understand what's happening inside your body, the blood sugar spikes, the inflammation, the liver stress, the long-term risks, you can make different choices. Informed choices. Not perfect choices, just better ones more often. Your body wants to heal. Give it less of what harms it, more of what nourishes it, and it will respond faster than you think. What is one source of hidden sugar you're going to cut back on first? I want to know. I read every single comment. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of your body. It's the only one you've got.